Welcome back to Rodecast, guys. Hope you're doing well out there. I'm your host, Rod, as always. And we got another awesome video here regarding more ICE detentions, this time coming from Hawaii. Now, despite the fact that I'm very happy that they're doing all these raids in other states, I'm still waiting for them to come back to California, okay? And in my opinion, they should be focusing on California and Texas, which are the two main hotbeds for illegals. But it seems like their strategy is much different from mine because they're going to literally all the other smaller states before they're coming here. Okay, now they did hit California hard in the beginning and then they just moved on and they haven't come here, okay? And here we have the largest illegal population in the country, and that there's no doubt about that. I don't think anybody doubts that. Okay, I think Texas is after that, but we don't know, obviously, because we don't have numbers on where these illegals are. But nevertheless, in this video, we're going to be looking at what they're doing here in Hawaii, and the numbers have increased significantly, and that's good. But like I said, I wish that they would come to California more than these smaller states.
Arrest of 44 immigrants on Kauai is the latest high-profile immigration raid in Hawaii, but advocates for immigrants are seeing many more being arrested quietly, often when they show up at state courts. Our Daryl Huff has the story.
The detainees from last week's Kauai raid are here at the Federal Detention Center, and they are far from alone. New statistics based on Freedom of Information requests show that arrests, detentions, and deportations are skyrocketing in Hawaii.
We have several reports of clients who have been detained, what we believe detained by ICE. That's been confirmed or shared with us by family members, and we never hear or see them again.
Good, because we don't want to see or hear from them ever again. Okay, we just want them disappeared back to their countries. That's exactly what we want. Okay, so Chen here is once again immigration lawyer bleeding their hearts out for illegals. Okay, and this one, an immigrant herself, or her parents are immigrants. Okay, that's what I'm telling you guys. Legal immigrants are the next problem because they simp for the illegals. Most of these immigration attorneys are not even like bleeding heart white hippies. They're the children of legal immigrants. That's who go into protecting illegal aliens.
Never hear or see them again.
Public arrests and large raids documented on social media are just the tip of the iceberg, according to statistics from the Deportation Data Project. There were 153 arrests in the first half of this year versus only 41 in the same period last year, and already far ahead of last year's total of 89. The 96 deportation removals between January and July dwarfs the only 15 in the first half of last year.
This has caused a lot of fear and uncertainty as federal agents have erroneously raided teachers' homes, at times ignoring warrant requests and patrolling neighborhoods of victims of the Lahaina fires.
Of course, the other one standing right beside her is a Spaniard, Fernandez. Okay, just a couple of light shades lighter than the tacos and burritos that she loves so much. And she works for the ACLU. Again, another child of immigrants. Okay, trying to flood this country with illegals, trying to defend their rights. That's what the ACLU is dedicated themselves to now. Okay, there used to be a time when there on some things I do support them. Okay, because they're fighting for individual rights, like women's rights. I support that. I don't support them trying to freaking defend illegal aliens who've invaded our country. This is how liberals lose everybody, even people in the middle. Okay, there's like, I'm not some right-wing lunatic, so I'm willing to work with them on certain issues, on a lot of issues actually, because immigration is the only issue where I'm not going to budge. Okay, you cannot break into the country that my ancestors built. That is a dead red line. You're not crossing that. Okay, anybody who's against that is my enemy. That's how I see it. Okay, so on immigration, no, we can't be friends. We can't work together because you guys want the whole country to be raided by third worlders. Not going to happen. We're never going to agree to that. Okay, I'm never going to agree to that. And most of the other foundational Americans are not going to agree to that either. But on many other issues, we can work together. But you guys make it impossible to work with you when you won't even defend our borders, which means you don't believe in sovereignty and you don't believe in America as being a country, a sovereign country that can control its borders. Because if we can't control our borders, we are not a country. If any savage from the third world can break in here with no problems and you're going to defend their rights after they break in, we can't work together. Okay, so this is why there's so much intractable differences between the left and the right in America, because most of the left believes in people invading our country being protected by the law equal to people who built this country. Okay, they think that some taco burrito who breaks in from Mexico has the same exact rights as George Washington or his family. Okay, his wife, his kids. who actually contributed to building America. Literally, he's one of the people who fought the English to, make America the United States instead of British America, which is what it used to be. Okay, Mandy Fernandez over here, Spaniard, thinks that the illegals who break in from Mexico have the same rights as George Washington. That's the insanity of these people. That's why we can't work with them. That's why I can't work with them. Okay. And they don't want to work with us because, they think anybody who's not willing to let America be raped by third worlders is a racist. That's their point of view. Okay, fine.
At times ignoring warrant requests and patrolling neighborhoods of victims of the Lahaina fires.
Immigration's attorney Gary Singh says for those arrested, especially those who snuck into the country, there is no bail or bond while you fight to stay.
Now, under the current administration, you do not get a bond, you sit in jail. And you go before an immigration judge, and then you get deported.
Singh says the federal...
Yeah, by the way, that's a change that I didn't cover on my channel, but the head appeals court judge for the immigration courts made that change official. They said that it was okay because DHS moved to basically detain anybody who broke in here illegally until they're shipped out. So until they're shipped out, they cannot be out walking around. It used to be that illegals, after they go to their first court hearing, they're out on ankle monitor or whatever until their next hearing, until they're deported. They can just be out there. Now they're detained in detention, ICE facility, until they're shipped out. Now that has good things and bad things. Obviously, I want these people off the streets because we don't know who they are because they weren't vetted. They could be literal killers. Nobody knows. But the problem with it, that's a good part, keeping them off our streets. The bad part is we're going to need a lot more beds, which means it's going to be costly to store these people until we deport them. So good and bad, it comes together when it comes to most things in life, and that's the same thing here.
The detention center where Kauai's detainees were taken last week has become a way station for deportees. In June of 2024, there were only 31 immigration detainees in the FDC. In June of this year, there were 91, and there's room for more.
They're telling me they have approximately 200 beds for Homeland Security, and they got a lot of bodies from the mainland that they bring over here, and they also have quite a few from Honolulu.
A favorite spot for grabbing undocumented immigrants are the local and state courthouses.
Is also extremely scary and problematic for our clients who want to go to the courthouse to pay a traffic ticket or have an initial appearance for whether it's a serious or non-serious offense.
Sure. Yeah, your traffic tickets are the least of their problems. Okay, look at this one. He's like, oh, they're illegal aliens in our country, but they should be able to, pay their traffic tickets. Woman, we don't give a damn if they have traffic tickets. That's the least of their problems. Okay, invading our country is the number one problem, and we're going to ship them out, whether we catch them in court or anywhere else. Okay, look at this Chang over here. Legal immigrants simp for the illegals. That's their problem. And that's the biggest problem with the Republicans and their support for legal immigration. I don't care how legal you are. You're still a third worlder and I don't want you here. Okay? Legal, please. Legal support the illegals. That's what's happening here. Both of these, children of immigrants, supporting illegal aliens, trying to protect their rights and give the same rights that George Washington had to these people. That's what they're trying to do. The ACLU and this one here.
It's for whether it's a serious or non-serious offense.
Oh, yes.
Advocates say immigration authorities staking out courthouses around Hawaii are having a chilling effects on immigrants' willingness to call law enforcement, even if they are legal and they need help.
Yeah, that's too bad for them. I don't really want law enforcement helping them anyways. So that's no loss. Okay. And by the way, one other thing I want to show you guys is that they did have a raid where 44 people arrested, where the FBI and a whole bunch of other agencies and ICE raided back on November 5th. They did a raid in Hawaii, in Kauai, and this is what happened there. We don't have exact details, but it was literally a criminal enterprise run by illegal aliens in Hawaii, and they were arrested by the FBI and ICE. It was awesome.
Federal authorities made dozens of arrests on Kauai today as part of a joint effort involving Homeland Security, the FBI, the Drug Enforcement Agency, and ICE. According to a post on their Facebook page, Kauai County says a total of 44 people were arrested as a result of 6 federal search warrants that were executed at multiple homes and one business on the Garden Isle. Kauai County says among those arrested were 2 suspected associates of the foreign terrorist organization Tren de Aragua, based in Venezuela.
So yeah, these are some of the great people that the ACLU and others are trying to defend. Okay, literally, then they do it in open in public. They defend criminals. So and technically, if they're charged with criminal offenses, then they do have constitutional rights in court. They're doing a great job in Hawaii. I just wish that they would come to California and Texas, okay, especially California where I am, because we are swimming in illegals in California, basically in every single city. Again, that's not even exaggeration. That is just a fact. And we need ICE here badly. Homeland Security and Border Patrol as well. All right, that's all I got to say for this video. Thank you so much for watching, as always. And I'm very thankful for all the immigration officers and all the agencies doing great work to clean up our country. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys in my next one, as always.